Here we go. Happy Tuesday. It's Rockstar Rally Night, my favorite night. I'm Jennifer Anderson, Superstar Director of Radiant Rockstars, and it's guest speaker night tonight, and I couldn't be more excited. Not because I don't like sharing with you, because I obviously do, but I like to learn too, you know? So tonight, we are talking all about VIP groups. Who has a VIP group, by the way? Lots of people. Okay, who feels like they have a great VIP group? None of those same hands went back up. We got some of these, but none of those hands went back up. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about if you're new or you don't have one, like what to do to get one set up, but we're also going to talk about how to create engagement, get the ball rolling, get what you want from your VIP group. And we're going to talk about that with Tessa Snyder, because Tessa has a boss VIP group. In fact, truly the best one that I've ever seen. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not in everyone's VIP group, but it is the best one I've ever personally seen. She has great interaction. And guys, the proof is in the pudding. What do I always say? Numbers don't lie, right? Well, Tessa had over 6,000 PRV last month. 6,000. And today's the 11th and she's already at 3,000 PRV. So numbers don't lie. Tessa is worth listening to. She has great things to offer. So I am really excited. Tessa is very new to Scentsy. She just joined a few months ago in May, right? I think. Yeah, she just joined in May. Last month, she double promoted from lead to superstar consultant, which is a massive jump. So she's not only selling herself, but she's building a team and teaching them how to be successful. So I invited her to come share with us tonight all about VIP groups, how she does it, how she makes money using VIP groups, and how she builds her business. And hopefully you guys will take excellent notes and be inspired by what she has to offer and take it and run with it in your own unique, creative way. So yeah, rockstar, rockstar, rockstar. So without further ado, Miss Tessa, would you introduce yourself? And then we are all ears, ready to hear what you have to say.
All right. Hi, guys. It's so hard to start after that super sweet introduction. I'm like blushing. So hopefully you can't see that on the video. As she said, my name is Tessa Snyder. I'm currently a superstar consultant with Scentsy, and I did become a consultant very recently. I just celebrated my 90-day mark last week. And I've only actively been trying to actually be a consultant for about 2.5 months. A little bit about me, I love Scentsy. I used it for many years. My current director tells me all the time I was one of her top VIP customers because I had an addiction, and I still have that addiction, but now I'm getting it discounted, so that's good. But you know, originally what made me sign up was, if you think back to May, there was a $20 special where you got a mini warmer and some other goodies sprinkled in. And I just thought about it. I'm like, you know what, if I'm going to be getting as much every single month as I do, I might as well, you know, make a little bit of commission or save myself some money. So I have to go in and be very transparent with you guys. Y'all, I had no intent whatsoever to even like tell people that I was going to be a consultant. In fact, my director, Courtney, when I signed up under her, I was like, girl, do not tell anyone. It's so out of my comfort zone. Like, I'm super shy. I don't want anyone to know. So just between me and you, I'll sign up, buy my own stuff, and that's about it. And I don't know, I just slept on it. I got all my stuff in the mail, and I sniffed my testers and got so excited that there was like all these new scents that I had just never explored. And I don't know, I just went for it. One night I was sitting on my couch and I texted her and I said, you know what, I might just tell a couple of people, nothing too crazy. And I didn't have a VIP group at the time. I just had like a regular Scentsy or a regular Facebook group. So one night I pep talk myself up enough that myself and my 2 fur babies decided to go live on my personal page just to say, you know, hey, I love Scentsy. Not sure if anyone's heard about it, but I'm going to, you know, step out of my comfort zone and try this thing out. And it really just blew up. So I was very blessed that instantly I had some people that wanted to join my VIP group. It was my first Facebook group. I didn't have a lot of experience, but from my experience over the last 90 days, I would definitely encourage you, if you are new or if you're an existing consultant that's been here a little while that just hasn't created a VIP group, I think it is so important. It's really allowed me to show off and share like what awesome stuff we have, but most importantly, learn about my customers. I feel like if I didn't have that VIP group to have that daily engagement back and forth to learn about my customers, as well as to brand myself as, you know, just a person, there's no way that I would be this successful. So if you don't have a VIP group, that's my challenge to you. You definitely need to set one up. If you don't know how, there's many resources. I actually used YouTube because I really am not a technology savvy person at all. And I just followed the steps and set it up. So if I can set it up, I'm telling you, you can set it up too. Also, if you don't want to look at YouTube, ask your upline. You know, we're happy to help you set it up. But I'm hoping that everybody is able to get a little something. I'm just kind of winging it because at the end of the day, there's so many things that I do, but it's ever changing. I think it's really important to kind of figure out what works for you. And I'm going to tell you now, there's been things that I've done that didn't get a lot of engagement or didn't get a lot of response. And you know what? I learned from it and I moved on to something new. So I hope that some of these tips help you and that you get something from the video. So one thing that I'll tell you that I was thinking about today after I was invited to guest speak, I wanted to reflect on how much of my PRV probably comes just from like my VIP group itself. And I'm going to estimate that's about a 70% of my PRV. So majority of what I sell each month is coming directly from my VIP group, whether that is a basket party or a bulk order, or people just doing direct ship to their house from whatever link that I have open. The rest of it is probably coming from virtual parties that are going on right now. So I've been trying to do at least 2 a week. So I would say probably 70-30. So you can see like in the math, in the numbers, you know, most of that's coming from the VIP group. And, you know, my hope is that as I get people from those parties into the VIP group, they continue to be my customers so it can grow and be even more successful. So what I would say, my biggest tips to you is, number one, in your group, you have to be yourself. Listen to that. You have to be yourself. You cannot watch another person's video. You can't go to someone else's VIP group and do exactly what they're doing. You can definitely take tips and ideas if you like what they're doing, but you absolutely have to be yourself. Sorry, I just saw a question pop up. So if those are popping in, I'm sorry, but the one I saw, the question was, how many people are in my VIP group? And I think I have 414 VIP members in my group at the moment. Yeah, we're 14 right now. So you have to be yourself. And the reason I say that is, you've heard this before and you're going to hear it again, but Scentsy products are amazing. Like, they're the best, or we wouldn't be having this conversation. You would not have signed up for a company that you didn't believe in. So the products sell themselves. They're awesome. You just have to share it and get it out there to people so they know how awesome it is. But there's so many consultants out there that you want to brand yourself. You want them to know who you are, why do you love the product, and how do you use it. So if you're not active in your group and you're not sharing this stuff with them, they're not going to ever see what awesome stuff you have to say about it, and they are going to get it from someone else. So consistency is super, super important. I think that as far as being yourself, one tip that I got that I took to heart my first couple of weeks of having a VIP group, I was told that I needed to learn to brand myself. So what did I want to be known for? And this is something that actually comes naturally. So what I would encourage you to do, so your homework would be, go to your VIP group, go to your personal page if you don't have an established VIP group yet, and ask them, what are the 3 top things that come to mind when you think of yourself? So for me, I reached out. I'm like, hey, tell me, what you think. And I was actually super surprised by a lot of the responses I got. People were saying things like, you're confident, or, you're so outgoing, you're so caring. I think the caring part is legit because I do sometimes care too much, but I didn't feel like at the time I was confident or that I was outgoing. In fact, like, if you know me in real life, I'm extremely, extremely shy. So that just goes to show that sometimes what you put out is completely different than what you're feeling in here. So for me, that really built my confidence to see that my VIP customers saw me that way. And if you were to look in my page, you would know exactly who I am without seeing my name on my post. If it was on someone's timeline, they could look at it and say, okay, that's Tessa Snyder's post. And the things that I love, I make sure I incorporate in my post. So for me, I'm a dog mom. You're probably going to hear them at some point in this video, but I do have 2 dogs. Their names are Jezebel and Spike, and they're super important to me. I do not have children, so they get treated just like real kids. So I definitely make sure that I let people know that. I'm not embarrassed by it. I don't shy away from it because it's who I am. Other things is, I'm a Ray Dunn collector. I don't know, is there anybody else in the group that likes Ray Dunn? Ray Dunn hunting, I guess we should say. It's just something that I think is beautiful. It's all throughout my house. So I've connected with a lot of customers on that. My house is like very farmhouse rustic, so people know me by that. And my dream is, I always say, like, I wish I was like, well, I'm not going to wish, I'm going to be like the next Chip and Joanna Gaines. So I always joke that, my husband's going to do all the work and I'm just going to come in and decorate everything and put all the cute Cincy stuff in there. So I try to just be myself. And for me, it's been like a huge confidence booster because, you can be yourself and people love you and they support you, and, don't be anyone but yourself. And the other thing is, like, let people know what you like, share it in the group. People in my group know I'm a Luna girl. They'll hear me say that all the time. Luna is like hands down my favorite wax scent in the whole world. I would just smell it every day if I could. I love it. And the other thing that they know me by is Scentsy Soak. It's like my #1 favorite product ever. If you haven't tried it, you need to try it. But, I'd really try to brand myself so that way they know who I am, what's important to me, and what I love about the company. The other thing I would tell you is that in addition to branding yourself, you also need to learn who your customers are. Stop thinking that we are selling Scentsy. That's actually like one of my biggest pet peeves, when people are like, I just need to sell this, or I need to sell 100 of these, or sell 50 of these. At the end of the day, for me, I don't look at it as selling. I look at it as sharing, because, I don't feel like I have to convince people. If you tell them how much this stuff is awesome, and you build that rapport in your relationship with your customers, they're going to see it. So you've got to move away from that selling mindset, and you really just need to move into being yourself and sharing what we have. So what I mean by that is, I want you to take a moment and just reflect. Go to your own VIP page if you have one and scroll through. If somebody from the outside looking in scrolled through your page, are you going to be able to say that you are sharing things? Are they able to see who you are, what you love besides Scentsy? Do they see that, you're able to laugh in your group and have engaging posts? Or are they just looking at like pre-made flyer after pre-made flyer, people, saying, buy this, or this is $20. if you look through your page and you feel like you're just looking at an ad, my tip would be you need to get away from that, because if they wanted to look at an ad, they would just click on your link and go and look at our stock photos. It's our jobs to actually take it and make it more personal. So my number one tip is I always make sure that I am using real life photos. So if I have it, I'm going to post pictures in my house of it, with my dogs, with my husband, how I use it. You know, just incorporate it in your day-to-day life. If you use your Scentsy mist in the morning, talk about it, you know, show off like how great you smell. You know, today, I had a really rough day and I looked really rough up until this video. So thanks for making me shower. But, you know, I thought about it. I'm like, I'm a hot mess express today, but I smell good because I've got cozy cardigan everything. And so I made a post about it. You know, did I look my best? No, but it's me. It was a raw post and I got a lot of engagement off of that because people relate to that. They don't want this picture perfect. Just be yourself. You know, and the other thing is, you know, people think that if you don't have it, you're out of luck, right? You know, oh, I don't have all those warmers. I don't have all those diffusers. You know, that's where we're here to support each other. You know, go to Pinterest, go to our Radiant Rockstars group. There is real life photos there and we're here to support each other and use it. So what I typically will do is I'll go to Pinterest. I will go to our Radiant Rockstar group. There's other groups out there for real life photos. And if I see something that, you know, it's good quality, it looks like a style that is similar to me, then I'm going to save it and then I'll use it later on if I haven't gotten that in my collection myself. So I would say real life photos are so, so, so important. My other tip would be if you don't have it, borrow it. You know, you've got a whole group of people, probably you've got your director above you that only cares about you and wants you to be successful. You've got other people that are in your group, hopefully local to you. Reach out, swap things with each other. You know, you have to have each other's back if you all want to be successful. And at the end of the day, you cannot have a successful empire if you're the only person that's doing it. So help each other out, share your stuff, because for me, I think that live videos are so important. That is crazy for me to say because I don't like to talk in front of people, but that's where your true personality shines. So I hold myself accountable. I try to make sure that I do at least 5 live videos a week. And you're probably thinking like, that's crazy. I don't even have 5 products new a week. It doesn't matter. Your customers don't always want to just talk about Scentsy. Switch it up, do other things. The engagement part of the group, I think, is super important. If your posts are 100% always Scentsy all the time, then, you know, there's going to be people that maybe don't want to always see that. So I would encourage you to build relationships with your group and throw in there some additional engagement posts. So whether that is asking their opinion for something, for example, a couple of things that I did, and this was actually a post in this group from the queen herself, you know, ask their opinions, like which photo should I put on my business card? You know, anything that shows that you trust them and you want their opinion. Other things that I have done is if I'm torn on maybe a warmer that I want to purchase, I'll ask my group, you know, hey, here's a picture of my new work from home desk. Which one of these mini warmers will complement it the best? People love to give their feedback. They love to give their opinion, and what better way to do it than in your VIP group? So I think that's one really important thing that you can do that gets additional engagement and people feel valued. The other things that I do that are super simple, anybody can do them, is I'm a really corny person. You'll learn that quick. I love to do things like icebreaker type of questions. So, you know, I'll post those sometimes just to get funny responses. People love doing those, you know, something that just, you know, there's a lot of negativity on Facebook sometimes or social media. And if they're scrolling and scrolling and then they get a question. Like the other day there was one and it said, if you could choose one food to be calorie free for the rest of your life, what would you pick? That got so much engagement because people are like, oh yeah, I wish ice cream, you know, that was mine. So just have fun in your groups. The other things from an engagement standpoint that could be Scentsy related is, you know, ask them, which of these 4 warmers is your favorite? I call those ABCD posts. Other things, this or that, you know, but instead of using just the stock photos, you know, take it a step further, find 2 real life photos. You know, do you like this roost warmer or do you like the twinkle warmer? But find like a real life photo of both of them so they can really see the true beauty of that. Hold on. I'm going to check really quick. I see questions coming in. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm keeping track of the questions, so we'll do those at the end.
Thank you. Thank you. So what I would tell you, and I had this conversation with someone earlier today, their biggest fear was going live. And if I'm being transparent, that was my biggest fear at first too. And to the point that I would feel sick to my stomach. But what I learned is that the more you do it and the more you build those relationships with your customers, it's no longer like you're just talking to strangers. You're really talking to people that you trust and that you've had conversations and you learned about. So I would encourage you to just go out there and do it. I promise you, the more you put yourself out there, the easier it gets. And, you know, if you don't have a new product, think about, if you were a customer, what are tips and tricks that you want to see? It doesn't always have to be, look at this new flashy warmer, look at this new flashy diffuser. If you have that, own it, of course. But if not, show them tips, like show them how to change out their wax. That's always a question I get. You know, when we're talking about wall fan diffusers or mini wall diffusers, show them that they can click that daggone button and flip it around. I hear that all the time, like, oh, that won't work for my light socket. You know, show them things like that that you wish you would have known. You know, talk to them about why it's important to use the right light bulbs, about our warranties. You know, there's so much. You don't always have to have a product in front of you. If you get stuck, ask your customers what they want to hear. I've had a lot of success doing the polls and just say, you know, hey, what do you want me to talk about? And people will give you their opinion. And then you feel like, okay, great, they want to hear this. And I think it kind of boosts your confidence to hop on and do live post. In addition to live post, I do think that, you know, just the consistency in your group is important. I don't know, show of hands, how many people have real-time jobs outside of Scentsy? Does anybody have real jobs outside of Scentsy that also take up? Yeah, a lot of hands. Well, guess what? My hand's up too. I'm working about 60 to 70 hours as a manager somewhere. And the biggest lifesaver for me has been to pre-schedule my posts the night before. So what I try to do is just reflect on the day that I've had, what conversations I've had with my customers, and then I strategically post for the next day. I can't tell you the best times of day that the most amount of people are going to see it. You know, I don't know that. It always changes, right? So what I've typically done is I try to space it out. I don't post 6 times an hour because, you know, I don't want my name to be like, but what I will do is try to schedule them, you know, 2 to 3 hours apart. So, you know, just sporadically put them in there. But when I say they're strategic, I'm not just copying and pasting stuff. I'm really trying to reflect on what might my customers want to hear about right now. So for example, if for a week or 2 ago, we knew that there was going to be some new hot Disney items coming out in our catalog. there was a couple of days where I made sure that I asked questions about what their favorite Disney character was or what their favorite Disney movie was, just so that way I can learn a little bit about them and know who might be a good target audience for some of our upcoming stuff. If I recently sent out samples, so say last week I sent out samples for Scentsy Soak, I'm going to make sure in the next day or so I incorporate that in my post. So that way, either A, the customer looks at it and thinks, yes, I just tried that last night. It's awesome. Let me also share with my fellow group members how great this was. Or it might be a gentle reminder that they got a free sample and they haven't used it yet. So try to just reflect, like, be strategic. Another thing is in-stock items. Every day before I post, I'll try to go. Luckily our stock issues are a little bit better than they were 90 days ago. But when I first started, there was times where there was a lot of stuff that I would personally want to talk about that wasn't in stock. So for me, it didn't make sense to talk about, for now, like, would it be smart to talk about room sprays if they're all sold out? No, because even if you get interested in room sprays, unless you have stock on hand, which personally I don't carry stock on hand, how are you going to get those room sprays to people? So be strategic. Look at things that have been really popular in your group. For me, if there's a fragrance that every single time that I'm doing sniff sessions, I hear people say, oh, put a heart by that one for me, then I'm going to try to take mental note of that. So that way I can then get out there and say, you know what, this one's really popular in the group. And a lot of times people will say, okay, well then let me try it. So a lot of it is just, like I said, be original, but be strategic. You got to really serve your customers. You got to learn about them, what their likes and dislikes are, and kind of adjust yourself for them. You're not doing your VIP group page for yourself, as much as sometimes that's probably hard to hear. Yes, it's your VIP group, but it's not about you, it's about them. So if they're liking what you're doing, keep it up. And if they're not, like, ask them, hey, give me feedback. What do you want me to do differently? That might be a scary question, but I think feedback's important. So if you have a VIP group already and you don't feel like you're getting the amount of engagement, or maybe you're just, you don't feel like a lot of people are responding to your post, step out of your comfort zone, ask them, like, what would you like to see me do differently? And you're gonna have people that respond, and don't go and cry in your room if they say, oh, I hate when you do this. Ask them open-ended questions. You don't like when I talk about XYZ, like, what would you prefer you hear from me? Because at the end of the day, as crazy as this sounds, to be successful, we really are going to be servants to their needs. That's what we're here for. Yeah, we have a product, but we already know that product's bomb. So we really are working on our customer service skills. So, there's so much that I could say. If you get stuck, another thing that I think is really simple whenever you're brand new, or if you're looking for something to spice it up that's a little bit outside of Scentsy, that a lot of successes come from in my group, is like national holidays. And I'm not just talking about 4th of July or Halloween or Christmas. Like, those are fantastic. We're going to celebrate those. But do you ever look at, like, national holidays, like the fun, quirky ones? Did you know that yesterday was National Spoil Your Dog Day? Did anybody know that? I have 2 dogs, so guess what? They got spoiled. And, I asked people in my group, show me your fur babies. Dog parents are wild about their dogs, just like all of you mama and papas out there. You're wild about your kids. So, incorporate stuff like that. So I have, if you just go to Google, just type in national holidays in August, or, whatever month that we're in, and you are going to find all kinds of quirky things that when people see it, they're going to be like, oh, how fun is that? I think Sunday is, National Spoil Yourself Day or National Relaxation Day. So what type of stuff comes into your mind? How do we incorporate that into our business? So obviously these are just some tips, but I think the biggest thing is just be creative. Do not just copy and paste something that you found from anywhere. Don't do it. Do not do it. I tell my people all the time, if you do not talk like this, do not post it on your page. Be yourself. You know, for me, I come from a really small town, so I say y'all a lot. And I've always worked in corporate environments where I'm told, like, you cannot do that. Do not say y'all, don't talk like that. But you know what? On my VIP page, I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to say y'all. You know, if I have someone that talks to me, I'm not going to change who I am, because I want them to love me just as much as Cincy. So I would give you that tip as well. Get ideas from people, but be yourself, because they wouldn't be in your VIP group if they didn't care about you, or they didn't think you were cool, whether you think you're cool or not. Like, I know I'm not, but they wouldn't be there. They would delete themselves. It's that easy. So be yourself. So I know there's a lot of questions. I think that's really the biggest thing. Be fun, be creative. Do not sell stuff, share it, and be yourself. So let me see what questions are there, and I will try to answer those for you.
That was so good, Tessa. I got so many golden nuggets, and I'm going to go through the questions in one second. I wanted to point out, like, something for me that really stood out. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but literally it was like the first sentence out of her mouth, and she said, most importantly, my VIP group is there for me to learn about my customers. And you guys, that is genuinely, I can tell you, because I've been doing this for a long time, that is the key to her success right there. She's not self-focused. She's not what we call arrows in. And Cincy, if you don't know what that means, Google Orville Thompson arrows out speech and you'll find it. But she's being arrows out. And she said multiple times throughout her presentation, like, how can I serve my customers? How can I get to know them? How can I service their needs? How can I be a servant to them? And that's the key to her success. I'm just going to tell you that right now, first off the bat. Like, it was so beautiful to hear her say that. And I know that she also has a really fantastic sponsor and director who also has shown her the way of VIP groups and social media. So shout out to Courtney and Amber, who are her upline, that have shown her how to be a servant. And so that's really, really, really so good. And she gave so many tips. I literally took 2 pages of notes. So I'm excited to go implement these in my own VIP group. But I also want to tell you this. Tessa has had 6,000 PRV last month because Tessa puts in the work. Okay. And she said she goes live 5 times a week. Okay. For some of you, maybe you haven't even gone live in the last like 4 months, right? Let alone like yesterday or 5 days ago or whatever. So 5 times a week she puts in, and she does not copy and paste any content. It takes work to create your own content. Yes, it takes work to find the pictures you want to use on Pinterest, find the pictures you want to use on Google Images. It takes work to craft the right verbiage, right, that you want to post with those pictures. It takes work and creativity and brain power. And so she's not taking the easy way out of just copying and pasting someone else's content. That's another huge key to her success. She's putting in the work. Is it easier to copy and paste someone else's? Of course. But that's not how you get 6,000 PRV. That's not how you double promote. That's not how you get the things that you want to get out of this business, like Tessa has seen. So take some pages from her book, be authentic, be yourself, put in the work, service your customers, get to know them, find out what their needs are. Those were some of my biggest takeaways that I had from what Tessa had to say. So here are the questions. Do you have any favorite, you said in the beginning that you've like found YouTube videos on how to create a group. Do you have any favorites or anything that stand out to you?
Oh gosh, that's a hard question. No, I can't tell you that I have a favorite. I literally went to YouTube and just typed in how to create a VIP page. I needed help with just where do I click? Where do I go? And then from there, honestly, what I did was I made sure that I joined other people's VIP groups of other fellow consultants within my group. And then just kind of look to see like what are they doing, and saw some stuff that I loved that I kind of like y'all took notes and said, they're onto something here. Maybe saw some things where I'm like, this really isn't my style, and that's okay. And then just started winging it. Like I really just sat down every day and I think, okay, like what are things that my customers might like?
Awesome. I saw a few questions on how do you how did you initially grow your group? Like how do you have 400 people in? How did you initially get people to join in like the very beginning?
I will tell you that the very beginning was rough. So if you're in the very beginning stages, please do not get discouraged. It's gonna sound like crazy, but one day it just kind of like clicked and I'm like, holy crap, this grew by like 100 in a week. And at the beginning, what I really tried to focus on was just telling my story. So why I love Scentsy, what my goals were, what I was hoping to get out of it, and not from a money standpoint, but from how I wanted to feel. I wanted to be empowered. I wanted to have financial freedom. I wanted to, learn about them. And I actually just asked people, hey, can you invite people that you think would be interested in doing this? I will constantly do things like, of course, nothing that can require a purchase. So make sure like you're not asking people to purchase something. But if I have a customer that reaches out to me and they're like, thank you so much, Tessa, for taking good care of me, I'll just ask them and I'll say, well, hey, I'm really trying to grow my own personal small business. Do you know anybody that might be interested? If so, can you please invite them? And really word of mouth has been my biggest thing. Because then people are like, yeah, absolutely. So I think that's probably the biggest thing. Of course, at the beginning, I probably posted a little bit more on my own personal page, in like Instagram or even Facebook, just letting people know that I was like stepping out of my comfort zone. So that did get a lot of interaction up front, but really I'm telling you, just taking care of your customers and letting them know that you want to build your business and that you want more people in there has been the biggest thing for me. I think that I think back about July, so that would have been about 2 months in, I had went on vacation with my parents to the Outer Banks, and I was super nervous about taking a break because I'm like, oh, all this hard work's getting ready to go down the drain. But I still kind of like pushed myself not to be on my phone the whole time, but at least do a live video and really just like, still get out there. And I did a couple of like appreciation posts for people that I had seen that did a lot of invites. And this was like a surprise. I do a lot of surprise, like thank you appreciation posts as far as drawings for maybe like a free bar of wax or a free scent circle. And I won't tell people what's gonna get them in the drawing. And I think that really helps with engagement because they're just doing stuff to do it. So for example, I'll go through and say, okay, I went through and anybody that invited somebody to my group this month, your name's in a drawing for a free bar of wax on me. Stuff like that, just to show that, hey, you're not just here to make some commission and leave, but you also want to give back to them. I think that's really important and will help grow your group also.
That's really great. And then along those same lines, do you allow anyone into your group? Only customers, only people from parties?
That's a good question. I actually do have a private group. So I have to, of course, accept them. There's been a couple of people that I haven't accepted just because I believe that maybe they're spam, if I have 0 mutual friends, but usually it is people that are either coming over from a party that I've recently hosted, or it'll be that somebody invited them. I'm not getting a ton of like just random off the wall requests. If I do get requests like that, most of the time, like I can look at their profile and see, okay, great, like 6 of my VIP customers that I commonly talk to are a mutual friend. But I am selective.
So if you have someone in your VIP group who adds someone else, even if that new person is not a customer of yours currently, you let them in, correct?
Yes, I would let them in.
Okay, got it. Bridget just asked, do you play games and or do giveaways?
So to kind of tie into the giveaway, I do multiple giveaways a month. And I would say now that I've kind of gotten established and I'm getting the host rewards and freebies on basket parties, I've really increased giveaways. But like I said, the most success I'm having is just surprise giveaways. People like eat that up. They love when I just pop on. And it might just be, sometimes I'll even do like just surprise things like, hey, anybody that was my top 20 contributors for like being active on my page, or, just anybody that supported my page this month. So I do a lot of giveaways, but I do get the most response out of surprise ones where they don't know in advance, like why I'm doing it. And it's just like a little extra thank you. And the other one, as far as games, I don't play a lot of games. I don't know if I'm understanding your question. As far as like fun things, like, like using, I don't know how to say it, like GIFs or something, like stuff like that I'll do, but I don't usually play a ton of games. The only thing that I have done, it's not even a game, is more so like a mystery crate type of thing recently.
Okay, good. And then someone had asked about, because you were talking about scheduling your posts.
Okay. Yeah.
And they said, so do you not go live? But you do go live. So how do you balance between scheduling and going live?
Usually what I will do is I already have an idea of about what time I'm going to go live. And again, that's just feedback and response from my customers. They typically like me to be live between like 7 and 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I will schedule my post up until when I plan to be live. And that kind of, for me, is like that kick in the rear I need to know that, hey, I only have posts scheduled in my group up until this time. And if I've had a bad day at work, or I'm not feeling like it, I'm like, oh, but I have to, because I don't have a post. If something absolutely comes up, then I'll go in and I'll finish out the night with an extra like good night post, or, something like that. But usually I don't post in the time that I think that I'm going to be live, just for an accountability purpose.
Okay. And I hope you guys are all hearing what she's saying. Everything is very intentional. There's no flying by the seat of your pants. There's no like maybes. There's no missed opportunities. There's no ifs, and, or buts. It's very intentional, purposeful, focused. Okay. All of her work is that. And so that's how she's seeing success, is by doing that intentional, purposeful, focused work. So it really isn't something where you fly by the seat of your pants. You know what I mean? It really isn't something where you just hope. I always say hope does not a business make. And Tessa's, what she's saying is like the perfect example and living proof of that. Bridget asked, how many posts do you typically schedule per day?
Usually I would say I have about 5 to 6 a day. And like I said, that's going to be at random. I try to pick different times. So I had a conversation with someone about this the other day, and they tested this theory out for me. They were telling me that every day they do post at the exact same time. So for example, she had said in the evening post, she would do like 5 and 8 p.m. every single day, Monday through Friday. And I had her test that out and switch it a little bit, so that way it wasn't the same. And she found that she attracted a whole new audience of people. And, we got to talking about it. If she does 5 and 8 o'clock every day, you've got people that sign on 6 and 7. And if they just don't happen to look, or they're not interactive in your posts, they're never going to see them. So for me, I try to just pick random times. So like, it might be my first one's at 7:03 a.m. one day, and then maybe it'll be 7:45, and then, maybe 8:03. I really just pick a random time, because also I feel like not only are you going to have like a different audience, you're going to speak to different people, but then also they don't come off as they were pre-scheduled. If I do them every single day at 8, 12, 2, 4, and 6, Monday through Sunday, obviously they're going to catch on and be like, well, duh, this girl is just in here scheduling her post every single day. So I do think that you need to intentionally shift it up. Don't do it every single day at the exact same times.
Very good. And then what do you talk about on your live videos? And I know that you had said you had some content ideas in your talk earlier, and she had talked about, you know, just showing people how to change their wax and showing people how to turn the back of the plug on the minis. You know, and I've seen her go live and honestly even just be like, I got this new warmer in, let's take a look at it. And she'll talk about the bulb size that goes in it and how it looks different ways and the different colors. I mean, it really doesn't have to be so complicated, but what other kind of things do you go live about?
Gosh, I'll just try to think. I do think what you're saying, don't overcomplicate it. And that's a tip that I had to learn from myself, because at the very beginning when I started, I would sit down, and this is like embarrassing to even admit, but I would sit there and I would think about it. I'd be like, okay, what exactly do I need to say? And I use my laptop to hold my phone. Like there's a pop socket, it holds it. And I would plaster the front of my laptop with what I wanted to talk about. If you need that at the beginning, do it. I'm telling you. And like one time I was embarrassed and I stopped doing it because I had got up to show them something, and when I came back, I didn't flip my camera. So I was like mortified that I just gave my tip away. So I kind of stopped doing that. But at the beginning, use what you need to. If you need reminders about how much something costs, you know, sometimes mine would just be like, don't forget to tell them you've got a bulk order going in on Friday, because you will, you know, you'll get excited, you'd be nervous. But now I really do kind of wing it, and it kind of depends on just what mood I'm in, what interaction I've had. So some different things could be, you know, if you use the dog products one day, show them how to use it. If you're getting ready to clean something with your counter clean, show what awesome stuff that you can clean. You're going to take a bath, show them what soap you're going to use. Make a mixology with the soap. I actually got that from my director. She does that. And I was like, that's perfect. Show them what you're putting in your warmers. You know, if you're doing a mixology combination, show them. Gosh, I mean, there's literally so much stuff. It doesn't always have to be about Scentsy. You know, my dog recently had surgery last week. I popped on and gave an update about him because, you know, my customers had been messaging me and texting me all day, like, how's your dog? You can do your diffuser video, do a car video. I'm telling you right now, I always get so much success every time I'm in my car. And I want to show people how the mini fan diffusers work. Like, it's over their head. They do not understand what these mini fans are. But whenever you show them, they're like, ooh, I'm going to get one. Show them how to use the Scentsy Go. I mean, show them how to recharge your scent circle with the room sprays.
Yeah.
I could literally make you like the biggest list. And it's stuff you already do.
Yeah, anything you're doing in your day, you know, you're probably using Scentsy products in every part of your life, you know, so you can just pick one tiny thing. You don't have to do a 30-minute live video, you know, it can be a 3-minute live video, and here's how I'm changing my wax, and that's it. Here's how I'm popping this mini fan in. By the way, mini fan, in case you missed my post in Radiant Rockstars, legit the hottest item at my event this weekend, sold out so fast. Okay, sell the mini fans, trust Jennifer. So thank you so much for sharing with us tonight, Tessa. I learned so much, and I am ready to just kind of take my VIP group to the next level, inspired by you, and of course your upline Courtney. And I know Courtney has a rockin' VIP group too, so and it's cool to watch you guys work together. So thank you so much for sharing, and I really appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me. I hope y'all learned at least one little baby tip. If you learned one thing, your challenge from me is to go out there and do it tomorrow, not next week, not next month. If you have big dreams, you have to start working on it right away.
You're my people. I love it, girl. Okay, guys, I love you. I will see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye, guys.